Hi, I'm Julian, and this is the WLB podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the WLB podcast. Today we have with us Sripriya. She's the founder of the Pehia Foundation, which is the largest community for women in technology. It helps students who are in engineering colleges and in basically any gender to actually who is interested in technology to learn about new technologies that are there like Flutter or Android or you name it. They have these peer-to-peer workshops. They have a Pehia Summit which happens annually with a lot of good speakers. So there are a lot of events that happen all throughout the year, and it's a very close knit community, I can say. Let's hear it from her itself. Sripriya, could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Sreepriya Radhakrishnan. I'm a BSc Computer Science graduate. I passed out on 2018 from University College of. There is a college in Changambara Park near Changambara Park. It's directly run by Inch University. Then I did a few internships. Then worked for an NGO, another NGO actually, which is based in Mumbai. I was a STEM fellow. I'm into this education sector. I love to teach kids. So I was doing a fellowship there, and then after this Corona thing happened, I came back and I started working here. Currently, I'm working with a startup called Total Learning. Again, it's an EdTech startup, and we are into early education of kids.
Awesome. So when did Pehia start?
It started on 2017. Uh, Me and Anfa, my co-founder, we were studying that time. She was second year engineering student, and I was doing my third years. And we were both from a different background, but we accidentally met. That time I used to go for every event happening in Kochi. I am basically from Kochi, and she's from Kannur, but she used to study in Rajgiri. So that's how we met. We used to go for every event. So wherever I go, she was the only female person I see. So then we started going together for the events. So that's how we become close, and then we decide. Then we, started thinking about, let's gather some girls together and go for events together. So that was the basic idea of, starting Pay here. There is
I
nothing like,
see.
yeah, yeah. Like there is nothing like tech and gender gap or inclusivity, nothing like that. It was purely our personal interest that we need to go for events, but it is very difficult for a girl to get out and attend events. Even if it's a hackathon, 24 hours hackathon, you have to stay over and all that. So getting permission from home, it's very difficult. Yeah. So we thought of, when we go as a group, there are so many people, right? So parents will be less concerned. So that was the idea of forming a WhatsApp group. It was just a WhatsApp group. Yeah, that's how Pehia started, to attend events. That was the core idea.
Okay, so is that WhatsApp group still active?
Yes, yes, it's still active, and we have a Discord server also currently. We switched to Discord due to everyone is familiar with technology right now, so we thought of it will be a better place. So, yeah.
So do you meet often? I mean, before COVID, of course, did you have physical meetups on a frequent basis?
We used to have physical meetup because in Pehia, we are kind of very interested in physical meetups rather than this online meetups, because we need to connect with people. We believe that physical meetup is something that actually connects people, more than online thing. So we used to host bi-weekly meetups and all that around Kochi only, okay, because we were based in Kochi, so it was more appropriate for us to host events around Kochi. Then after Corona, nothing like that happened actually. But we used to have these volunteers coming for work with Pehia. So we used to have an online session with them, and we used to host coding competition online. So we will chat with them also. So that is the kind of interaction happening right now. And we are thinking about conducting offline events soon.
Hopefully, yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Do you have chapters in other cities as well of Kerala?
No, but me and Anfa used to go to other colleges for sessions, but there is no chapter as such because we are still working on it. So we this is something that we started when we were so young, and the idea or the importance of such a organization started to kick in like recently. The gender gap in industry, the inequalities and all that. So we were thinking, so we need a
Mm.
proper structure to we are thinking about something that we can replicate everywhere, so we need
Mm.
to test. So rather than host having 100 clubs in everywhere, we actually thinking about hosting in some 2 3 colleges in rural areas, and then work on it and then improvise, and then we should replicate in every throughout India. That is our plan right now.
Nice. So, did you have to like, do you in these Discord meetings, do you get any requirements for, can we have a session for this or can we have a session for that, or is it planned
Yes.
beforehand?
Yes, we put out a survey about what are the technologies you wanted to learn. So there are people who is interested in Flutter, who is interested in ML AI and deep learning, data analytics. So we are thinking about peer-to-peer sessions. So Pehia used to host peer-to-peer sessions. It's more like a combined study. Okay, so combined study we do with friends, but here we do it with people from different colleges, but who have a similar interest, and there is no mentor or anything. If I know something, then I will teach them. I will share the information with them, and we will work on some project together. Weekly we meet at some place in Kochi or somewhere around Kerala, and we do this stuff. So that is the fundamental program that we used to run in Pehia Foundation, peer-to-peer learning, and it was a quite successful. Whoever get involved with Pehia in the initial stage, the volunteers or the team members were from P2P, peer-to-peer learning, because they were so much into those activities, because it was very engaging, and you don't feel like too much pressure in the environment, because everyone wants to learn, everyone is from different background, and they are ready to respect others and accept others as they are. So that is the kind of environment we used to create from the initial days itself. So we want to make everyone comfortable around us. So uh, so that is a core idea of P2P was a combined study, but with strangers, and but eventually they will become friends. So, yeah.
So I think this is something that should be happening in engineering colleges as a part of curriculum. That is the application part. If the project is like currently, I think all curriculums are like just theory, 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 and just get marks and
Yes.
you're a
Yes.
9.
Yes.
But that does not make you employable. So
Yeah.
I think is that like, do you have these metrics for measuring the success of a particular suppose somebody came from the industry and taught something. So how do you measure the success of that?
Okay, yeah. And I think this application of the concepts that you learn in engineering is really critical because I think currently the curriculum that we have in most colleges is just, one way the teacher keeps giving you lectures and you write notes and those notes are copied and somehow these copied notes make you a 9 pointer, but not necessarily employable. So, what you're doing with all of these workshops is actually amazing, helping them implement what they learn. Um, so, how do you measure the metrics of the success of a certain workshop? Like, for example, if you had a person from the industry come and teach, say, AWS or any technology, um, what is your means of measuring the success of that talk or event or workshop?
Hmm. So we haven't collaborated with any firm right now, but after doing certain projects, and we since we have got some contacts, we recommend these people for internship and all that. And so far the feedback is great. Nobody complains like she is not capable of doing this, or she is not don't have any idea about computer science. It's not like that, but it's not like we are training them, but they are already interested in this stuff. We are giving them a space to a comfortable space to learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are providing right now, and there is no metrics as such that where we measure their learning. But like I said, this is something we started in our early age, when we are very young that time. But we are thinking about it, how to measure these things and how we can connect with people to mentor us for this. So, because still we are still learning, right? So we have only like 2 years experience in this field. And the directors, there are two other directors right now. One is Dia and Anushri. They joined like last month. So they are also just started their career, so we were not so expert in the industry. So we are seeking mentorship from industry experts actually.
Gosh, that's a lot of work. And you also mentioned that you are having a full-time job in addition to this. And I think everybody on the team is also having a day job. So how do you find the time to manage all of this?
So our companies were so open-minded, they let us work for Pehia also.
Okay.
And actually, I got this. The job I am currently doing. I got this because of Pehia, because I am doing community management here also. So they have this mentality. I already done this in Pehia, so I can do it here also. So that is the benefit I received from Pehia. And my other directors, they are working in MNCs. One is working in a startup, and another is working in an MNC. And the company is pretty much supportive, and they seek their advice for inclusive activities and all that, and which is really
Mm-hmm.
supportive and encouraging us to do more in Pehia. So there is no, they are very supportive.
I'm so happy for you. Glad your companies understand. So, um, think I understand that this started as a WhatsApp group, but now is a registered non-profit organization. But I would like to know what was it that you three had planned initially? Like, did you research and plan for a particular time to launch and register? How did that planning go about? Like, when did you think it was the right time to start?
There were no plans to register initially, but then we realized, we need to host events and we need money. So that for that we need to get registered. So that's the only reason we get registered. Otherwise, we wouldn't have registered, because we need some money to run this program, right?
Yeah.
So otherwise we need to charge the people. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do that. So we thought of, okay, then we will get registered and raise fund.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's how we decided, okay, then go, let's register this
Mm-hmm. So
as an
before this, it was
organization.
just informal meetups where
Yes,
people
informal
just
meeting.
happen.
Yes, yes. And we are grateful to InQ Innovations co-working space in Palarivattam. So they provided a space for free to host events. So that was a great push initially, because we have a space where we can come and sit and talk. So that was really great. And also Kerala Startup Mission, they provided us venue for free. Also Entry.me. So they have their office space, and we used to host events there also. So there are certain companies and people who helped us to, in the initial days, they were they were very supporting,
Mm-hmm.
to host events, to organize stuff, and connecting with mentors and all that. They were really helpful.
So what about your family? Were they supportive as well of this entire thing?
Not at all. Like, first of all, they didn't know that what we are doing. I mean, for in my case,
Okay.
and then they don't. I try to explain like 1,000 times to them, but still they don't get it. Like, okay, Pehia. There is something called Pehia, and what is Pehia? What is she doing? Every day, every Saturday and Sunday, she is going out at 10 o'clock or something, and coming back at 6:30. And what she's doing? She's asking for money and all that, but they completely have no clue about what I am doing. And when I do remember an incident, like, we got featured in Malayalam Manorama. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it was not paid. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
called us and they wanted to feature us. Okay, okay, then we will do interview and all that. So we were not sure about whether the news will be on the newspaper or not. And at my home, we subscribe to Madhubhumi or something like that, not Manorama. So I woke up early. I went to the shop and buy this newspaper, and I was searching. Like, usually these kind of news comes in the supplementary page, right? So I was going to supplementary page and then nothing, there is nothing there. I got too scared or upset. The news is not there. Then I randomly go through all the pages, and in the ninth page, there is a half page news about Pehia, and there is my pig and Enfa's pig. And I ran to my home. So my father was reading newspaper that time. Then I was like, see, read this. So he was like, okay, my daughter, my daughter. And he was going through the news and all that. But I thought he understand. Then after an hour or something, he asked, what is Bhaiya? And I was like, okay. So I have explained to them like 100 times, but still they don't get it. But when it comes to, when we started to go for this transgender community events and meetups, they were a little scared because all they know is like, the news coming from the news, and all the details about them is from newspaper and TV. So that took time for them, for us to convince them, it's just not, it is okay to be with them, and they are also human beings. And now they have, I don't know how much they have convinced, I have convinced them, but they are okay. Uh, I can't say that they were supportive, but now they realize, okay, their child has grown up, she can take care of herself, let it be, let her to take care of herself. I don't know how to say this, but yeah, they're not very supportive, but yeah, they understand it right now. We are doing something great or something valuable to the society and us, so they're like, okay, shh, they don't stop us right now. That's it.
And that's progress. But I love the fact that I read about the how you guys have started teaching transgender folks also how to code.
Yeah,
Like, how did
yeah.
that start, or like, what was the inspiration?
So, initially, when we were trying to solve the problem of women in engineering, it was very easy because we were the victim. So, we know the problem statement very correctly, and it was very easy to understand the problem and find a solution. But when it comes to transgender community, it was difficult because we were outsiders. So first, initially, we needed to connect with them. It took 1 year to get involved in the community. Then we started going for the monthly meetups, which happened in Tammanam in Ernakulam. Again, there were a community called Curla. It's again a not-profit. So it's for LGBTQI community. So we used to go for their monthly meetups and get involved with them, know them better, understand their problems. So from that thought, we decided, okay, then if we get a chance, we need to do something for them. But it's maybe not coding class, because what they need was basic employability, not technology or anything. So we thought of giving some Microsoft advanced training, then maybe an introduction to programming. That was the initial thought. Then we get help from Martoma Navodaya Society, and they were willing to collaborate with us. So they provided a space, and they connected with the transgender community, and we provided them with mentorship. So it was like a 9-10 day camp happened in Alua, and it was really a great experience. There were this storytelling, like they're sharing their personal experience. There were trans women and trans men. Some were transsexual, some were transgenders. So it was really thought-provoking moments. Actually, the insight we got from them, it was really great because we never thought on that perspective. It was completely different. Some people want to do surgery, some people doesn't want to do surgery, and that there are so many politics thing, and there are so much emotional things they are going through, and above all, the society is, our society is stereotyping them. So that was a different experience, and yeah, we are looking forward to do more events like that, but maybe in future. We are not prepared yet. That just happened like randomly. It was not planned, like we took only 10-15 days to plan that and host it. But if we are doing it again, then we need a proper plan. So we are thinking about it, but in future maybe we will do that.
But it's amazing. I mean, that stands out as an example for more people. Like, okay, there is a section of the community that is completely ignored, and they that also need to be
Absolutely.
about. It's a
It's not about,
subsection.
it's not just about being ignored, but we are stereotyping them. We think that they are not even educated, but it's that's not the case. I know PhD holders, I know, degree rank holders and all that. I
Doctors.
do, yeah, I do remember talking to the famous Vijayaraja Malliga. uh, I mean, she was an MSW rank holder from Rajagiri or something like that. So it was really inspiring talking to her also. So it changed her so much things. The stereotyping mentality. And even I was like, how to involve. I was unsure about how to involve with them and all that. But now, like, I learned so many things from them. There is so much to learn from them. How bad our society is. Those stereotyping thing, they suffer a lot, but it's in our hands. We as a society, we need to improve our behavior towards them. We need to change people's mindset. It's difficult, but it will definitely happen.
That's so true. If we were just able to change our mindset as a society and accept all transgenders as normal human beings because they are, I think Kerala is one of the only states that gives them that gives them jobs. I remember reading about how 80% of all metro jobs were held by transgender folks, and I don't think there are other states in India that actually allow them to get education or get a job. There's no checkbox on their forms to even sign up as a transgender, which is sad.
True. Also, the first transgender HR person is from Kerala, Zara Shekhar. So, Kerala is making a lot of progress.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I understand you three started in 2017, this group, but is the same team continuing to lead Pehia even today?
Did what?
No. So when Pehia started, me and Enfa was there as co-founders, and Enfa left the director board, last month, and new directors are onboarded with Dia Lisa Varghese and Anushri. Both were in Pehia from the initial days itself. They were a part of peer-to-peer program, and Dia used to volunteer for this transgender community event. So they were there from the initial days itself. Now they came to a decision-making power, and we are all the people who worked in Pehia are now pass outs, and they are going for job and all that. So we are seeking new faces for Pehia. So we just started our volunteer call today. Volunteer call for, we have a lot of projects in mind, so we need extra hands for to execute them. So
I understand. So, Sripriya, what are the three biggest, or what have been your biggest challenges, if you were to name a few, in these 4 years of running this organization?
So initially, it was very difficult to convince others that there is a need of this kind of community. So initially, it was a community, not an organization. So it was very difficult to convince others. They were like, there is no such inequality or gender gap in this industry. It was very difficult for us to, convince others. That was the main issue. But there were some people who actually agree with us, and they give us an opportunity to, pitch in the idea of Pehia. That was one struggle. Then from family there were struggles, because that time we were students and we were asking for money from them, so there was a limitation. In traveling also, we were not allowed to travel that too far. So that's the main two restrictions, or two challenges we were facing, but it's kind of solved right now, I guess. We travel across the world, so there is no restriction in that sense, and people are understanding. There is this kind of inequality or stereotyping in this industry. In every industry that it is there. So people are like accepting this, and people right now, people actually think that there is a need of such organization, and things have changed also. Okay, 4 year ago, when I used to go for events, the only female face I saw is enfas, but right now the scenario is different. you know More girls are into technology, and they really want to do code. Okay, No one is forcing them, no one is compelling them to do engineering. They are passionate about engineering and coding. So, and they are honestly taking effort to attend events and even organizing events. They are really interested. There are girls who are interested in doing such things. I mean, more girls. So that has changed.
Yes, yes, there is a change, and I'm so glad it's happening finally. I mean, it's 2021, and I can't believe you had that problem of convincing people that there is a gender gap and a pay gap. I mean, I understand the struggle. It's huge. It's something that we all have to fight about, and the story was pretty similar when I was in engineering too. In 2012 and 16, we had like what 23 girls and 64 boys, more than double. So that ratio has always been low. Like women joining the right courses at the right time. That is I think still a problem, and we need to make people aware about it, make women aware about STEM courses, and increase that ratio somehow.
That
So
ratio.
yeah, that ratio difference is there. So what we thought was like, we should that is there is a difference in exposure also. The things we are exposed as girls is different than boys, right? From childhood itself, we are conditioned, grow in certain way, like certain things, like certain colors. So that stereotyping or conditioning is there from the beginning, like from the day one, from the baby shower itself. There is a conditioning. So that's why we started off thinking, like, have something for kids also. Give them exposure to everything equally. Like if STEM, I think girls have less exposure to STEM education, like hands-on projects, electronics. Even my college elective was electronics, and I have never stepped into my electronics lab, but I have cleared all the exams. Yes, that's
Okay.
true. When I joined my STEM fellowship in Mumbai, that's the first time I saw a resistor. That's the first
Okay.
time I started handling with electronic components. Really,
Right.
really, like I feel pathetic initially, but that's the situation. And I had a like electronics elective, and this is the first time I got to do something electronically. So that was really a nice experience. Uh, getting into electronics and all that. I studied electronics. That's the joke right now.
But I
So
think
this
you're right.
happened.
The exposure, people are not even aware about these fellowships. Like, if you ask them about grants or publishing your papers, nobody knows. Okay, government actually gives you grants for creating your
Yes.
project on your own, or you have certain organizations to help you get access to those labs. Like, I remember my friend Kevin got access to MIT labs in Chennai. There's just one fab lab. So people
Mhm.
are engineering is just like, okay, my dad enrolled me in engineering, let me just finish 4 years and then done. Like nobody's actually putting their mind to it and studying it.
Yeah. Or if you clear all the papers, you will get placed in somewhere and you will get job and you are secure. That's the mentality. I mean, everyone's mentality. Everyone wants to secure the job, but they don't want to find their passion or work for their passion. They just want a job. So
Hmm.
that society will accept them. Okay, now they are graduate. Now they have job. Now they will have a beautiful life. Whoever doesn't get placement is useless, worthless. I don't know.
So I think this education problem, like, and then if they don't get a job, they have to go abroad and study again. They
Yes,
get
that is
another
it.
degree. So the application doesn't happen. Like I think what you're doing via projects and applications and implementing that what you study. Like if you're studying Android, build an Android app, or if you
Hmm.
study Flutter, you build a Flutter app. Like those applications actually speak volumes about whether you've learned it or not.
Yes. People are not doing hands-on projects. They are more into clearing the exams. But you know, there are people who are really interested in doing this project. But I don't know how much opportunity they have or support they have from their friend circle, from their tutor circle, from their family to do that, right? Rather than by hurting some theory or some algorithm, it's better to do a project in that thing, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
So, I mean, that's a culture we need to build.
What and regarding the school that you mentioned, are you have you started any programs or are you planning any programs for high school students? Or
I used to go. I used to teach them. Take 1 day sessions. But we haven't planned anything. We don't have a structure right now so far. So I used to work for this NGO in Mumbai called Universe Simplified, and they are doing great things in Mumbai. In rural area schools and in urban area schools, they are doing a great, very great job. So, and like I said before, they are not trying to expand it. They are they have taken a sample set. They are working in certain amount number of schools and trying out things and make sure that this works for everyone and then replicate it. So maybe we will do a collaboration with them later. That's the idea I have in mind and my team have in mind, because they are an open source organization. Their content and everything is available online. So we need to execute them. So that's the plan right now. But school, I don't know how when the schools will get started. There are, and in Mumbai's school system and here school system is very different. An outside organization that you can't get in easily. There are certain procedures, and the information about students are very confidential. So that part we need to work on. Maybe we can have a space and invite children from different places to come together and do something. So and for that we really need a huge amount. The materials cost, electronic materials cost. So yeah, that is something again we are trying to figure out how to make this work. We are going to figure it out.
So, do you have anybody to guide you on this, on in terms of the sponsorships, whom to approach, or which network to pinpoint to, target in 1 year? Do you have any guidance in terms of, like, is there any, I don't know, anybody in your
There is
family or?
no mentor as such, but we have friends who run startup. So they guide us actually. We have a in our conversation, Pehia is a topic actually. So they talk about this. They guide us. They guide us. It will be better if you do this. You should have a vision. This thing. And
Mm-hmm.
Pehia's vision is pretty vague right now because it was like 4 years ago's vision. So it's not relevant right now. And we
That's not.
are kind of, yeah, and we are ourselves evolving. So we are trying to iterate. We are going through multiple iteration, brainstorming, having
Mm-hmm.
deep conversation between us also, and asking our volunteers, what do you expect from Pehia? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we when we started Pehia, we were students and we knew the problem. But now we are working professionals. So don't have the connect with the colleges anymore. So we need that community to come to us and tell us what are their problem, what are they facing right now, and so then we can create a program for them, right? So that is something we are trying to do. And now we are working professionals and we are encountering problems in our workspace, and there are people who find difficulty in workplace. So we are thinking about how we can take it to the next level. Maybe how can we help working professionals, how we can make an inclusive environment and a better culture to our company. So these are the internal things that are happening in Pehia right now. We are not that active right now. We are like
Mm-hmm.
in a planning stage, revamping stage. Yeah.
So, how many people are there in the Discord server in the community right now? And is it invite only? Like, if anybody wants to join the channel, is it open?
No, the common channel is open for everyone, and there is no restriction. Only boys or girls can join. Everyone can join. Even our Pehia Summit, so the annual summit was open to all. Because initially it was a woman-centric organization, but right now we think like we don't need to discriminate anyone, but we need to make sure that we create a safe place, comfortable space for everyone. No, we need every gender, right? That is, we can't discriminate one gender because of anything. But so we decided we will keep it open for everyone, and we actually ask our members about what if we are organizing a P2P with mixed genders, will you be comfortable? So we are asking them, whatever they need, we will provide. That is it. So most of them are comfortable in studying with everyone, and we in during Women's Day and when it comes to women centric events, only girls are being part of these events. and we are getting lectured and we are talking about our problems and all that, and we are listening to our own problems and we will say like, yeah, I face that too. But that is not the point, right? We need to talk to others, you know,
Mm.
other
Who
genders.
talks
See,
about
this
it?
is happening. Yeah, this is happening and this is our problem. But I don't know why people do that. If it's a woman's day or something like that, then only the event is completely focused on women, and I don't know why. So
I
but we
think
need to change that. Actually, we need every
that's
gender to come for an event and talk about the stuff, so that
certainly.
then only then other genders will get an idea about what's going on here, right?
Oh, you face this problem, so you want a period leave. Oh, is that a thing?
Ah, yeah, true. Like it's like, when we come to this age of menstruation and all that, we will get a lecture, right, in schools, and there is one particular session for boys and there is one particular session for girls. There is no session together. Okay, I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. They should know, right?
Of course, and that's when they are able to cooperate and understand. But
Yeah,
it's
true.
good your bachelor is thinking about this, and I would definitely like to join.
You all have been doing such a great job. Like, I think it's very inspiring, and I would definitely encourage all of my listeners to join this community who are interested in technology. Um, Also, if as a question to you, Sripriya, if there was somebody in our listener community that is planning to start or is interested in starting a company or a non-profit organization like yours, what would be your 2 cents of advice to them?
Just start. Don't overthink about it. Just start. There will be a lot of people to support you. um, Better you start with solving your own problem. So we started for our selfish purpose, but now it's a community, it's an organization, and we are evolving. Our perspective have changed. We have seen more world than, the a person at this age. We have seen more world than more people we have the connect with. So if you want to start something, just start something. If it's going to fail, it will fail fast. So you can try another thing soon. So try something, don't give up, try something. That is the only thing I have to say. I it just it just happened to me. Okay, I didn't plan this to happen, but if someone wants to start something, it can be a friends group community. There's no need of, an organization or anything, but you can gang up with your cousins and do something, maybe your siblings, maybe your family. So when I started applying for this fellowship in Mumbai, I had to make something. I had this assignment to complete. Make a rubber band plane. Okay, rubber band plane. It seems very simple, but it took 9 hours for me to complete that thing.
Wow.
Okay, it took 9 hours to complete that thing. I started 9 o'clock and I ended at like it somehow it worked at 9 p.m. Okay,
Mm.
somehow I don't say that I won't say that it worked properly, but somehow it worked, and my family was watching what she's doing. Okay, and then my father came to me and he started sitting with me and he said, "Okay, what you are doing? Okay, I am going to do this." Then he started helping me. Then my brothers came, my uncle came. So I live in a joint family, so everyone came and we were doing this together. So see
Wow.
that, so it will increase your family bonding and all that. So try doing something. So it can be anyone.
One last question. What does Pehia
Okay.
mean?
Okay, so Pehia, we selected the name Pehia using like random keywords, P for power, E for empower, something like that. Then we realized, okay, there is no meaning for Pehia. So then we will go for some other name. We tried a lot of names, but nothing gave the satisfaction that Pehia gave us. Then we started searching, is there any uh, something that can relate with Pehia, the term Pehia. In Maori language, it's a language in New Zealand or something. So in Maori language, it means subjugated and oppressed.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, then we will stand as a voice of subjugated. So that's how we
Nice.
named Pehia. So
Fair
we
enough.
stand as a voice for subjugated.
Oh, that's very nice.
And there is no mention of any genders. We are open to all.
Mhm. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah,
Wish you
thank
all the
you,
best.
Judy. Thank you.
That's it from us for today. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you enjoyed it, do share it with your friends. I will share the Discord link right below in the description wherever you're watching this, if it's on YouTube or Spotify. Do follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. I'll be back with another amazing guest next week. Stay tuned, stay safe.